Children that don't like to be around boss babes. Sorry.
Yeah.
Children like to be around soft, feminine women.
Yeah.
Now, men might initially be attracted to the idea of a boss babe, but when you're living with one every day, it's not so desirable with someone who's constantly in competition with you. You feel like you're married to another masculine man. Because that is the trait of the masculine. The feminine is to receive. That is her creation. Her created, how she was created.
Yeah. Come on. So good.
Happy women need a consistent diet of play, pampering, spoiling, and praise. She needs these parts of her to be provided for, but guys, to be permitted. I know even now as a 45-year-old woman, it's like something in me because of the society we live in and because of religious indoctrination. It's like I need Ryan's permission to do these things. And I actually ask him to just tell me it's okay, and it's like to remind me from so many years of these parts being seen as selfish, and mainly selfish. Women think, it's funny, I always ask the women, when you see your husband doing his hobby and he's doing what he loves to do, he's doing his hobby or whatever, how long does he spend doing it? And most of them will say hours. Maybe a day, but certainly hours and hours doing what he wants. And I say, how guilty does he look when he's doing that? No, doesn't look guilty at all. Does he ever say after he's finished, oh my gosh, I feel so selfish. So selfish for doing that. No, never. In fact, you probably just cheat doing it. And I'm like, isn't that amazing? You see, men have no problem. Men don't have problems in these areas. Men have got their own problems that Satan attacks them with. But they don't have a problem with pampering themselves. And I mean just doing what they want to do. Women do. Women do. Women have a very serious problem in this area. In fact, most women that I first encounter, they don't even know what they want to do. That's how separate, that's how dead that limb is. You're like touching it, it's completely numb. And I'm going, so what do you want to do? And they're like, I don't know what I want to do. I'm like, no, what do you want to do? I'm poking this thing. Come on now, let's get some blood flowing in this thing. And they're like, I think I might want to. They actually have to try things to even start to get the thing moving, start to find out what's even in there. What are they even like? They're so detached from their own pure desire as a woman. This is extremely unhealthy, and this is a gift that you can give to women in your life today. She needs to be permitted and provided for to play dress-ups like she used to when she was a child. And I don't mean she's going to be, going and getting Elsa from Frozen or whatever. I mean dressing up in all kinds of fancy things, trialing things without you saying, that doesn't suit you, babe. Listen to me, right? When a woman is trying to learn to step out in her feminine, when she's trying to learn who she really is, she's going to try all sorts of stuff. And what you're going to do, just because it's different, husbands and children, you're going to go, Mom, what are you doing? Ooh. Yuck. Mum, put your rags back on. Thank you. Okay, this is a gift. Shut up. This is your Mother's Day gift. Shut up. Alright, now we've got that one settled.
Write that down. Write that down.
Write it down, everybody. Let's see pens right in.
Shut up.
Do you know what? Because what's happening there is, without meaning to, you are keeping her confined.
That's right.
As only mother.
Yeah.
Just even by what she wears. She comes out and she's got a little bit of purple eyeshadow on. You're like, dude, darling, really? You look like you bruised your eyes. Go on, take it off. Again, look, I know, and especially when someone's trying, it could be horrific at first. Because they literally haven't tried dress up since they were 4. So they go back and do the makeup like they did at 4. And it is terrifying. But you've got to give them space. Give them the gift of space. Give them the gift of trial and error. Give them the gift of finding their feminine flavor. Of getting the blood flowing again. She needs to try. So let her jump on some cheap site where she can try some things. Shein is a God saver to us all. I hear that Temu is as well. Secondhand, especially when you're just starting, girls, secondhand stores and all those, they're fantastic for trying. Because you can buy a bunch of items for a few dollars and you can try things. But the husbands and the children, what I encourage you to do is don't just shut up. Go, nice mum. Nice babe. I love seeing you try new things. Even if in your mind you're like, please God, don't let me stick with this. Just keep that to yourself and your father. And you just say, I love seeing you try new things. Celebrate her freedom.
Yes.
Her freedom from the cage that just staying a mother can be. She's actually going into those other rooms, turning on the lights. There's dust everywhere. She can't see a thing, but at least she's turned on the lights and she's trying, okay? She wants to get in there and spring clean and redecorate, but she's going to need some space and time.
That's so good. Go ahead, babe.
Let her play dress-ups. Let her play makeups. And don't be so flippin' religious about it all.
Yeah.
That's the devil, that red lipstick. Oh my father. Who made the colour red, darling?
Yeah.
Okay, ready? So don't give Satan anything.
He doesn't.
He didn't create anything.
That's it.
God did. So we reclaim. I don't even say reclaim. We never lost it. The children of God own every colour, every style. We do all things unto the Lord. So don't, come on now. Renounce your religious devils.
Yes.
Let her hang out with her girls. And I mean her friends, her daughters, whatever. Let her try some dance classes. Or read a book for the afternoon. Or go outside and dance in the rain. I mean, really, stuff she did when she was a girl. Ask her what she did when she was a girl.
So good.
Let her play with the dog and not have to come in straight in and cook dinner. Like, you might not even know that she likes playing with the dog because she has no time to play with the dog. But you ask her what she did as a kid. I worship dogs. I love dogs, my favorite animals. I loved all animals, but I love dogs the most. I had wolves and huskies and malamutes all over my walls. And, I love dancing. I used to always dance in the rain. I'd lie out in the rain. These are things as a girl that I would do. As a young girl coming into womanhood, I would dance in the rain every weekend and Fridays if I was allowed. I was allowed to on Fridays because my uniform could go in the wash. Right? So up until I got married, every day. And then I got married and put my responsible cap on. I would dance for around 2 hours a night by myself. Or my siblings would come watch me. And it's amazing how then, as a grown woman, that just got lock and key.
Yeah, so true.
You need to ask her, and you need to let her paint her nails, watch her chick flicks, celebrate her princess, without judgment, without criticism, without being a time police. Okay, you've been a princess for 26 minutes and 43 seconds. Just letting you know it's nearly 30 minutes. Just let her go. Let her. You know what? She needs a princess budget, to be honest.
Yeah, so good.
And I know, I'm not talking about it needs to be 1,000 or anything. I'm talking even if it's like $20 a week that is just dedicated to the princess budget. That's a lot we girls can do with $20. But just thinking about having her on a princess budget if you truly want to see her nourished up and juicified. Okay, let's turn to Song of Solomon. She needs encouragement, even enforcement at times, full permission and praise, and resources, which includes allocated time, a car with a full tank of gas, and spending money, woohoo, to regularly go and nourish up the princess in her. I'm telling you guys, if you want a healthy, yummy woman, children, if you want a happy mom who's not cranky all the time, she needs space to go do these things. She will come back a whole new woman. Everyone gets the best out of a nourished up woman. Okay, and the last thing we're going to touch on is her lover. We need to recognize her as lover. So she was the princess as a little girl, even as a teenager, and then she started to awaken as a young woman. And she got engaged or courting you, got engaged, got married. She entered into her lover era. This was the woman that you married. This was the woman on the night that you married her. She was your lover.
Come on.
Song of Solomon chapter 1 and verse 2 says, "Let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth, for your love is better than wine." Now what I want to note here, and I've taught our ladies on this, I'm going to do a whole course on her for our ladies, so I encourage your wives. It'll be just so healthy for her. But what is to be noticed from the book of Song of Solomon, which is basically, I just love that our Father loves us so much. He covers whole topics in whole books of the Bible. And the book of Song of Solomon is completely dedicated to the sensual and the sexual. That is what that whole book is there for, because God was the one who created sex and sexuality. So, but what's to be noticed here is that it is the woman who initiates, in the sense of saying, come do this to me. Come, let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth. She is the one who's in full lover mode. Now, most women these days who are married and mothers would not say that. What do you think that? They're like, oh, he'll come get what he wants whenever he wants it. Yeah, he'll come knocking. I don't need to say anything. I don't want it, mate. Get him off me. I got everybody's on them. Just get away. Again, because it's been shut down for so long.
That's right.
And their husbands, bless your hearts, want to come and just turn it on at certain times, out of nowhere. Run into that room. It's not encouraged. All day it's not encouraged. No attention. Suddenly, certain time of night, you hear the key going in. It's like, oh, here we go. And he goes on, and he just lights on. And she's just like, what the? I don't even know this part of being terrific. Can we get it over with? I know some of you are like, dear God, did I come to church for this? I'm trying to keep it PG. I'm trying, but you need to understand, the only way she became a mother was by being a lover. Okay, it's kind of important. And I'm not trying to be inappropriate. I want really genuinely, God wants us. God dedicated a book to this, okay? I'm not going to go through the book. I'll spare you. Keep that for your ladies. But God clearly wanted us to know these things. He wants you to know how to keep the lover cooking. That the lights are always on in there. So there is no shock and horror. That she's the one saying, come kiss me. Due to the changing hormones of pregnancy and breastfeeding, combined with the changes in her post-baby body, and with the constant demands of early motherhood, a woman can easily lose touch with her lover's side. And as a result, she literally becomes dry, physically and relationally. She lives only in her mother and queen and sees anything outside of these masculine traits as selfish, lazy, irresponsible, and time-wasting. She literally sees sex as a waste of time, many women do. Do we have to waste this time? I mean, women were created. Let me just tell you that the women's crown jewels, right? Keep it PG. Her crown jewels have over 8,000 nerve endings, over double that of a man. Not only that, her crown jewels were designed, or crown jewel especially, only for pleasure. A man's tool is multi-purpose. God bless the men. But women were designed to experience at least double the amount of pleasure in the bedroom as men were. And yet, where do you see this? Porn actresses are paid. Not only that, I have had a lot of time with actresses, prostitutes, higher level prostitutes, strippers. Most of them, and I would say 99 out of 100, do not even like men, let alone like sex. That is an act of war for them against men, to control men, to fill them with disease, to destroy their relationships. And also, it can be also major issues within themselves, being molested and abused at a young age. But a true healthy woman is like this woman. This area of her life is flourishing. It's healthy.
Come on.
Now, most of your women who have been in amongst femininity for a while, that should be being activated more and more. And hopefully they're at that point and they're becoming more and more. But you want to invest in this part of your wife's life and children, your mother's life. A woman is fully radiant when she has this area of her life also fully sown into. All right, let's turn to Proverbs 5. If a woman loses touch with her lover, she will begin to die as a woman, as she becomes more and more disconnected from a vital part of her womanhood. So what can you do to help and bless the lover in her? Okay, for the children here, to your mother, what you can do is don't be grossed out when she gets all romantic. Don't be grossed out when she gets flirty with your father. Don't make negative remarks or looks when she's stepping into something that's a little bit more, whether it's red lipstick or whether it is the certain style that she's doing or the fragrance or her going out on a date with your dad or sitting on his lap or anything like that that shows her and her lover. Do not show any negativity. In fact, you should be so inspired by it, so encouraged by it.
Oh, it's so good.
But you need to encourage, honor, respect, and fully support her time alone with her husband. Children, go to bed at night. Give your parents space. They need it. They need it. You know, you so want a healthy family life. You so want your mom and dad to be happy, but yet you refuse to go to bed at night. You refuse to let them retire. You need them constantly and you want to stay involved constantly. You need to encourage space and time alone without kids. You need to encourage dates when mum and dad want to go out for a walk. You need to encourage and support and invest into seeing her experience pleasure throughout her day. So not just when she's with her husband. A woman's lover state, so a woman's princess state is her state of play. It's her state of girliness. It's her state of dress-ups and enthusiasm and flirting and all that kind of thing. Her lover is her state of pleasure. It's her state of desire, her state of want. Her state of pleasure, though, is really the ultimate word to describe her lover. So you, as children, can encourage the lover in your mother simply by encouraging her to experience pleasure throughout her day. Now, by pleasure, I mean things like yummy food.
Oh, yeah.
Giving her time and space, right? I don't know a woman who doesn't love food, and if they do, it's probably because they're detached from their pleasure. Women make everything look good, right? We just do. When a woman is in her pleasure state, she makes everything look good. A woman in her pleasure state eating food looks magnetic.
PG.
PG. Keeping it PG. Yeah. But she turns, if she's given space and time, women in her masculine are shoving it down while they're answering text messages, rebuking the children, putting on a washing load. I mean, women who are out of touch with their lover eat on the go. Okay? And I know women are like, no, I have to. No, you don't. You have to make time to stop and to take pleasure in your food. Women who can't have the big, some experience later on, are women who don't know how to take pleasure throughout the day. It's not something that is bang. It's something that needs to be encouraged and fertilized and watered throughout the day. Yummy food, hot creamy drinks, soft blankies, beautiful things. And God's like, wow. Just ask your woman, okay?
Not this one.
Ryan knows, I know, he's awesome.
Yeah.
He's brilliant. Women love these things, beautiful things, clean spaces, a hot bath or a hot shower, time in the sun or outdoors, beauty treatments. And again, a woman who doesn't like any of these things, she's just lost touch with her lover. You need to gradually and gently begin to bring these things back into her life. Let us begin to, how do you bring something back from the dead?
Revive,
resurrect. Let's revive, resurrect, resuscitate. Oh, that sounds much better. Let's resuscitate the lover. The more, although the children are like, no thank you, but let's revive it. The more your mum, though, can experience pleasure throughout her day, the more her lover will stay awake. And the full lifeblood of her God-given womanhood will flow throughout her, and you will reap from that. Because a woman who's in her lover and in her pleasure, she's so easy. She's so yummy to cuddle and be with children. She's nice. As opposed to the opposite. Now, what can her husband do to keep the lover awake? Look, I've told you that, the EA are the two greatest things: exclusivity and attention.
Yep.
Okay? Now, I want to talk about some other real practical things, but by being exclusive to her, like the husband of the Proverbs 31 woman, you excel them all. You are my girl. By giving her exclusivity and by not comparing her genitalia with other things that you have seen. You need to stop seeing it today and start enjoying what God has given to you. And ladies, you need to stop being shy about it. But I tell you why they're shy: because they're used to rejection from you, criticism from you, judgment from you, or, to be honest, physical abuse from you. Because that is what most intimate interactions are these days. Men do not know how to pleasure a woman because porn teaches them to only be in the feminine role. I mean men. Men in pornography are always in the receiving role. The women are serving the men. That is completely opposite to God's creation. That is opposite to what the Word of God teaches and to the natural makeup of a man and a woman. So women in pornography are trained to be in their masculine, and men in pornography are trained to be in their feminine, majority of the time. Not only that, when the man is in the active role in these environments, it's always in an aggressive, self-pleasing manner. They are absolutely clueless when it comes to how to bring pleasure to a woman. The women are paid to fake. That is so shameful to men that they can't even know how, they don't even have the knowledge. They haven't spent the time, the energy, the resources to actually know what turns the lights on in their woman. Now, if that has not yet happened to you, don't feel bad if you're a married couple. This is the beginning of a whole new world. Because this is going to be a gift. That you actually go, you know what? It's not about wham, bam, thank you, ma'am anymore. It's about learning what pleases you. And when you begin to show her that her whole kit and caboodle is your one and only, and you begin to give it the attention she deserves, love and attention, she will come to life. Every part of a woman will come to life. And women, they'll lose their shyness. You need to earn it. They'll lose their shyness, turn off the lights and don't do this and don't, be a hideous monster. That's because, to be honest, you've made her feel that way. Women are generally very insecure about their bodies post-babies, and maybe even before that. You do wonders by constantly praising her. We see that in Proverbs 31's husband. We also see it all throughout Song of Solomon. Solomon was a master with his tongue. And I don't just mean what you're thinking. I mean, listen to the words he said. I think in every area he was a master. He just praised her. He praised her. Her confidence. I mean, the descriptions are literally, everybody has watched Mark Gungor, it's hilarious. I don't necessarily think she was the most attractive, but she felt like she was. Because he gave her so much praise and attention and adoration that she just came fully to life in every way. So, her husband can keep the lover awake by constant stimulation, and I don't just mean sexually. The lover requires a steady diet of pleasure.
So good. Wow.
Women experience extreme pleasure when they are admired, when they are desired, and when they are delighted in. So you think you've got to stimulate her physically? No. for a woman, if you are admiring your woman, and this can only happen. You know, Mark Gungor gave a challenge, I think, for 30 days to look only at your woman and think and actually believe that she is the woman God gave for you. She's perfectly handcrafted for you, and to begin to enjoy her. A woman, when she receives that kind of admiration, desire, and delight in her, she will, she'll come ablaze. She'll come ablaze. She will have no problem with the other stimulation. Practice looking at her like it's the first time. You know what causes affairs? Say, right? We know that.
Yeah.
But part of it starts with the eye gaze. Because you are looking at somebody that you may have not looked at before. And they're attractive to you. And so immediately you look at them, they look at you, the games start. Because it's a new shiny toy. Thing is, with the new shiny toys, you get over them.
Come on.
Unless they're the toy that God gave to you. Because it's always new. It's always transforming. It's always magnificent. It actually gets better every day. It gets better with use. It gets better with use. And that is the spouse that God gave to you. But, you know something that I do with Ryan, that we practice? I look at Ryan every time like it's the first time I've seen him. He walks into a room and I'm just like, I literally feel like I love you all, but you've all just faded into like extras on a movie set. You all just like, you know those characters, you can go up and you got a question mark, you can engage with them if you want to, but you're not really part of the storyline, no. No, I love you all, but he is the main character. And it's just, woo! But you know what? You can practice that.
Yes.
Stop playing eye games with other people. Guys, why do we do that? Because we love to flirt. We were created to flirt. Everybody loves to flirt. So flirt. With your spouse. Ryan and I flirt with each other all day, every day. Through text message. I'm not a phone call girl, but I try. But certainly when we're looking at each other, hanging out with each other, see each other anywhere, we flirt. Practice looking at your woman like it's the first time. Intentionally look at her like that. Touch her like it's the first time. Yeah, I already know all this flesh. I want to touch some new flesh. Well, if you learn this skill, you'll actually feel like it's the first time, every time. That's saying awe and wonder of that first touch. Something I'm telling you, it's going to transform your marriage. Those of you who are like, 26 years, how do you keep that fire going? I'm giving you the keys right here. Flirt with her all the time. Flirting is one of the greatest keys to a long-term, delicious marriage. Again, that's why we start, we don't, but people start fantasizing about adultery. Because they feel young and alive when they're flirting.
That's it.
It's like, now I'm just stuff all we do is talk about the rent and, whatever, the bills and the children and the schoolwork and blah, blah, blah. Well, you should not. You should, I've already trained the women on those things and you can discuss it with your husbands. That's the feminine communication teaching, how to do those things. But most of the time, flirt. It keeps you young, it keeps you healthy, it keeps your marriage delicious. I'm going to wind this thing up. Everyone loves to flirt. Everyone needs to flirt, so flirt with her. So, quickly winding this up. Something that I have noticed in women that go through a divorce later in life, normally once their children are a bit older or midlife crisis, whatever, they actually go out and they start flirting like there's no tomorrow. They just want to be looked at with desire again. They call it the cougars and stuff like that, but it's because what's happened is for 20 plus years during their child raising years, that was dead in them. That was turned off. So they are so desperate to be seen again as a princess and as a lover, as a woman. Because that's why they wanted the divorce, because you don't see me as a woman anymore.
Yeah.
You only see me as a mother, and then when the kids are gone, what am I to you? I'm nothing. But if he celebrates the princess and the lover in her all those years, it gets a whole lot better once the children are gone. No more restrictions, praise the Lord. they want to be looked at, they want to be touched, they want to be explored like it was the first time.
Yep.
And the lover is fully awakened again. She comes alive and she is radiant. But this should not take a divorce or a midlife crisis.
Yeah.
It is actually easily maintained throughout every season of a woman's life by intentional flirting, delighting in, and indulging her.
It's good.
Proverbs 5 and verse 18 says, Let thy fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of your youth.
Yeah.
She's the one you should be partying with. That's what rejoicing is. Have a good time with her. Take her out. Stop fantasizing about going to some island with some hot babies, fantasizing who actually will probably stab you when you're asleep and stuff. But anyways, instead, book tickets and take your wife.
Come on, baby.
Oh, and she won't leave the children. She will if you make her. I remember Ryan, women, and I'll help you women. I'll help you women, okay? Send them to me before you go. We'll have good chats. Because I remember being away in Queensland, Ryan and I'd never been away on anything. We went to Queensland together. It was not even 5 hours into it, and I was nearly in tears about the kids. It was terrible. Because I was so out of touch with being just with Ryan. My kids, there's always one on the hip. I would stand in the shops and I'm still, with the trolleys, and I'm like, there's no children. Verse 19, let her be as a loving hind and a pleasant roe. Let her breast satisfy you at all times. At all times. And be thou ravished always with her love. Guys, hold her hand.
Yeah.
Hold her hand. When you're out in public, especially. Women love public displays of affection. Why do men not? Often it's trying to keep themselves still available. You're ripping yourself off, guys. That's why you don't actually have good stuff going on. If you just show exclusivity, you'll be amazed at how things will heat up in other departments. Hold her hand. The stuff you wanted to do when you were first courting her, when you even thought about being married. Hold her hand. Kiss her hand. Admire her. Say yummy things to her. This is how you keep the fires of the lover hot. Don't let it be, I'll go into places and, there was a young guy who came up to me. He would have been my son's age. He came up and he said, I'll do anything to have a woman like you. Tonight, can I take you out to a movie? I want to buy you dinner. I'll buy you gifts. And I'm like, this kind of stuff, why that can appeal to a woman? I'm 45. And I'm like, dude, happily married. I have some single daughters there. But I actually said, congratulations, I do commend you on your boldness. And that you weren't just being sexual or anything, you were actually wanting to spoil me. What a great man. But you know what? Why women can fall for silly things like that and become cougars, I don't call him silly, he's great. But you know what? Because they're like, when was the last time I heard that from my man? I've heard a man treat me like that, and they're like, whoa, okay. And they will start to fall for this. Women age like wine. We get finer with age. And young testosterone-filled men can smell a woman who's in her lover mode. So you need to make sure she's plenty loved up because she attracts attention. This is how you keep the fires of the lover hot. Even if yours are only embers today, you can start blowing on those embers, feeding those flickers with flames of your attention, and the lover will awaken.
Amen.
Don't let another man awaken the lover in your woman. You keep her lover well fed up and nourished with attention, desire, and pleasure. Take a break this week from however you like to do things with intimacy and ask her to tell you what she would like and begin to explore. Encourage, support, and invest in her pleasure, the fuel of the lover energy. Okay, so this Mother's Day, I encourage you, I think I've given you lots of juicy stuff there to take away. How'd you find that, mums? Okay, because these are going to be incredible gifts that are actually going to change the woman in your life. My word's failing me. It's Mother's Day, I'm allowed to be relaxed. They're going to change her life, not just this day. This is going to make her come into her full, radiant magnificence. Her relationship with God is going to go to whole new levels. her relationship with herself, her relationship with her husband and her children and everyone. So I encourage you this day, let's give some real Mother's Day gifts. Amen? All right, I'm going to invite up the worship team, and you can shake it off and we'll get into some praise and worship. Thank you guys so much.